Hello everyone, happy 2025. This is just a quick video to do a little bit of a reflection or a look back on 2024 because it was a wild year. Before we get into some of this year's highlights, I just want to say a huge thank you to my channel partners. That would be Full Cycle Ottawa, Norco Bicycles, Energy Enterprises, and Liat. It's been a crazy year. It's been a wild year. Thanks for sticking with the channel, and I'm looking forward to doing so many more things in 2025. Apologies if I sound a little stuffed up. I am just getting over a bit of a cold. We all got sick over the holidays, missed all our Christmas things. Silver lining, it was actually quite chill, so that was quite nice. We all got to just hang out at home as a family, and it was really great. So we're gonna kick things off chronologically, and I'll start with the 2024 Norco site. I got that bike in March, and I rode it for the bulk of the summer, and I have to say, Norco's new high pivot, mid-high pivot design is insane. That bike punched well above its weight. I'm going to leave links to all of the things that I'm referencing in some of the corners in the video, just so that, you know, if you want to go back and check out the reviews that I did or any of the content that I did surrounding the things that I'm talking about, you can do so. But yeah, that bike was wild. I tried it with an air shock. I tried it with a coil shock. I replaced the Grip 2 damper with the Grip X damper. It was a great platform for sort of trying out different things. I also tried it in its mullet configuration. I tried it in the 29er configuration. And for an all mountain bike, it definitely skewed more towards the enduro side of things. I never felt underbiked. I definitely felt a little overbiked sometimes because it was very long and it is quite portly in terms of weight, but I did have it set up with some aluminum wheels. Shout out to the Hope Fortis 30 wheels. They are bomb-proof. The dual cavity version. The single cavity version, I don't know. But the dual cavity version, they're boat anchors, but they are almost indestructible. I don't know about you folks, but I am always looking forward to the season opener at VMSM because it is probably, I don't want to play favorites, but it is definitely in the top 2 best spots to ride in the area. There's just so much real estate. There's so much ground to cover. There's so many different kinds of trails from tech to flow. There's jump trails now, there's berms, there's everything you could possibly want in one trail center. It does turn some people off because there is no sort of mechanized lift situation, which personally doesn't bother me because I do like to climb. VMSM always has a special place in my heart. Their memberships are also on sale now. So if you want to give a gift or, you know, be proactive and pick your membership up ahead of the season, you can grab them down below. And I know they're also fundraising to extend, I think it's Growler from the top of Family Jewel, which is wild. So Growler is going to be like the longest flow trail in the region. The work they did on it this year is mind-blowing. I'm going to get to that a little bit later in the video though. Another cool thing that happened this summer was the Wake Ride series at Vorlage. This is a regular, not a race, timed training event that happens at Vorlage every second week, and I think there is 7 or 8 in the series, which is really cool because we don't really have anything like that in the area. We have the Marin Wildside Enduro that comes to the Gatineau region maybe like once a year, that's it. And then we have the Ottawa Mountain Bike Association Social Enduro, which happens once a year. So we really only have 2 races in the enduro, at least in the enduro category, that are in our area. So it's really cool to see Vorlage take the initiative to make a series, make something that people can come back on, work on times, compete against other people locally. It really does help foster that sort of racing spirit and racing community that we don't really have or haven't had for many years. And probably the most exciting thing of the summer is my wife and I had a kid in July, so that made things a little different. I still managed to get in quite a decent amount of riding, which I'm really happy about, but it's been really cool being a dad, figuring it out. I had never changed a diaper until I had a baby, and then he pooped 7 times the first day, so we figured it out pretty quick. Yeah, it's been pretty wild. I really hope he likes to bike. That's all I gotta say on the matter, so kudos to all you other parents out there because it's a wild ride. So every year now, I find myself more and more impressed with our region and how it's becoming this riding destination. You know, having traveled to places like Squamish, like Kingdom Trails, like Saint-Eleuthère, like Quebec City, anywhere in the Quebec City area really, we are really starting to get those vibes here. Like there are trail centers springing up everywhere, like Domaine Canawe, Vorlage. Camp Fortune is really stepping up their game. Mont Saint-Marie is always the pinnacle of everything mountain biking in the area as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, it's just really cool to see so many people getting into the sport, so many different centers opening up. There's all different kinds of trails opening up as well. We went from having 0 jumps in the region to having, skills parks and, jump flow trails and machine-built flow berm things. Like, it's unreal. And also, I got to shout out Domaine Canawe for their new sort of, it's not a slope style line, but it's a pro line, the DH Juice line, which is just wild. There's drops, there's jumps, there's cannon logs, there's all the things you need if you want to level up your skills. They are planning to expand it as well. So I think they're gonna lean really hard into that sort of kind of short jump trail thing. So I'm really curious to see where that goes. Big shout out to Terra Sculpt, who's doing a lot of the work at VMSM and Camp Fortune. They're also doing some work at Montebello too, which is great. But yeah, Chris and the team have like an amazing vision, and they've done some just wild things with the trails at Camp Fortune. I'll leave some links to videos that I've shot at Fortune. You would not recognize it had you ridden there like, 5-6 years ago. When I was growing up, I was actually a camp counselor at Camp Fortune, and we were riding a lot of cross country, but that's kind of when like the downhill trails were in their heyday. This was in like 2006 to early 2000s. And I never rode downhill at that time, so I kind of missed out. And then it sort of fell apart between then and now, and then all of a sudden, like, it's getting all of this new trail work done, and it's like, it's really cool to see. And if my son does want to get into mountain biking, he's gonna have all of this incredible mountain biking infrastructure, communities, camps, everything. I'm so excited for him to experience that. Despite being new parents, extremely sleep deprived, and having a chaotic summer, I was still able to convince my wife to take a quick weekend trip out to Saint-Eleuthère. I would like to shout out the folks at Maelstrom Mountain and also say a big thank you to Nick for having me at his rock cabin again. If y'all are looking for a place to stay at Saint-Eleuthère, it's ride in, ride out, like literally ride in, ride out. There is a trail that leads from his land, essentially. It is wild, and the views are breathtaking. The trails are incredible. I will go there every summer if I can. Like, that's kind of like my riding destination of the summer. There's so much variety in terms of trail. I personally like the Maelstrom side just because of the white granite, all the moss. It feels like you're somewhere else. It feels like a mini Squamish almost. Another one of the huge highlights of my SDM trip was getting to ride with one of the founding members of LBSIC, Pat Perrault, who is now a founding member of Dig It, which is a trail building sort of alliance for connecting volunteer trail builders. It's nonprofit. It's pretty awesome. He explained the whole thing to me. I'll leave a link to it down below as well if you want to check it out. It is very cool. He's a wild dude, and he towed me down Professor X, which is their newest double black expert tech trail. It's super steep. There's insane rock armoring, but there's some crazy loam sections too. Like, the terrain there is unbelievable, and that trail was really a good showcase of everything that place has to offer. They put so much work into their trails, and it's unbelievable, really. So yeah, un gros merci à Pat. That was fantastic. Thank you so much for towing me into Professor X and also showing me some of the lesser ridden trails on the Saint-Eleuthère side too. That was great. All right, folks, so that about does it for my 2024 year in review video. Over the past couple months, I've been a little bit quiet. Getting used to family life and work life simultaneously has been tough, but we've had a good chunk of time to reset over the holidays, and I am ready to take on 2025. So stay tuned. I'm going to release a bike check for my 2025 bike. It's behind me. You can probably tell what it is. I've already had a couple rides on it too. It's been featured in a couple videos, but I haven't really talked about it yet. But yes, thank you so much to all of you who subscribe, who comment, who engage with my channel, who say hi out on the trail. It really does make my day when I see folks out there and they say, hey Chris, I got into mountain biking because of your channel, or your channel's really helped me break down this part of trail that I've been really stuck on for years. Or when the kids come up to me now, being a dad, I'm like, oh my God, it's like hard to handle. But when the kids come up to me and they're like, oh man, you're awesome. That's the reason that I do this, really. It's really nice to experience that and to really help out the community in this way. So thank you, happy 2025, happy holidays, and I will see you out on the trails in 2025. Let's go.